Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be trying to integrate Reactflow with React 3 Fiber. As you might know, React 3 Fiber is a 3JS renderer for React.js. So let me give a demo of what we'll be building by the end of this video. We're having a box. Let me add it. This is a orbit controls also so that you can move around the canvas. Now let me give a different position, give a different Y, create a cylinder, give a different color. And let me add it. And as you can see, we have it. We can go to full screen also, check it out. Then we can do escape and exit the full screen. So this is what we're building by the end of this video. And this video is the second video for the whole Reactflow playlist where I'm focusing on Reactflow basically. Anyways, I've already went ahead and created a basic white project using React.js and we'll be doing a lot of things in this one only. And let me first of all configure Tailwind. I'll be using Tailwind for the stylings. Let me copy this, paste it. Now let me copy this index.css file, visit styles. And then let me copy the tailwind config and let me paste it. Next, we need to configure React Flow. So let me come back here, go to React Flow. Quick start. Let me just install the dependency. Other than what I've done is I've already went and created a basic app.tc which would be required. If you're not sure about completely what I've done here in the with regards to React Flow, I would suggest you check out my previous video for this whole playlist. I'll not be explaining too much in depth. I'll just be focusing on how we can do the integration with React Flow and React 5 in this video only. So yeah. Anyways, now let me run it. Let me copy this, come back here, paste it, and let me close this one and this. As you can see, we have two nodes here and one edge connecting both of the nodes. So we'll be starting with this. So anyways, like how we have done in the previous video, I'll be creating a couple of custom nodes for this. So let me first of all come here and create a components directory. Along with that, add the nodes folder inside it. And let me create a canvas node. And I'll also have an object node. And what I'll do is like I'll be giving a different ID to it. For the canvas node, by the way, if you recall in the first video, I've told we need to give a unique IDs. In this video, since mostly my, no, what you can say, the nodes are going to be static, I'll be giving static IDs for our better understanding. So one will be the object, another is going to be a canvas. It basically needs to be unique. That's it, what I'm trying to do. Even E2, I'll just keep it simple, but source, I'll be giving it as object because I want the source to be object and target is going to be the canvas. And you can ignore that. I think there's some issue. Let me do one thing with the package of JSON. I think I've imported Reactflow, but let me still restart my TypeScript server for this. One thing, I'll just reload my window. Hopefully those errors should be gone by now. Let me see. Yeah, this is fine now. So any for canvas node, let me first of all create a canvas node. Similarly for this also. Now let me hook it up with the React flow. So for app.css, let me come on the top, const nodes. I have to give the what is it going to be the type for the node. First is going to be the object. This is going to be the object node. Then we're going to have canvas. This is going to be the canvas node. Let me give it node types, I guess. I've added node types. Now in the constants.ts file, I need to give a different type to this also. The type is going to be the object in this case. And again, the type for this is going to be canvas. Now this should register the canvas node and let us see something should be visible by now. Let me refresh it. As you can see, we're getting the object node and canvas node. As you can see, it's not having anything much here going on. So what we can do is like, first of all, we need to create a couple of things. Let me start with the canvas node spelling is correct. Let me close all the other things. Let me first do one more thing. Just I might be needing the types later on. Other than that, I'll be needing the context also. So let me do one thing. Let me first of all write the context also, because I'll be referring the state which is basically we'll be trying to add the node from the object node, whatever we want, and that object needs to be rendered in the canvas. So we need a global state. Instead of using the stand or anything else as such, I'll be using a context API for this use case. So let me create it. And like I told you, I need a type also. So let me create a type. This is going to be consisting of shape, which is going to be a string, color, which is again going to be a string, position, which I think I'll give as a number. I'll be giving a specific type, which is going to be x dot number, y dot number, z dot number. This should be good. And I'll be needing ID also to uniquely identify, because I'll be using a map to iterate over this mesh objects. So that is also going to be a string. So this is a type. Now mesh objects is going to be of, first of all, let me do one thing and let me create a type also. Type I global. You can give better names. I'm just trying to keep things simple here. Mesh objects is going to be mesh object. Here also, so I'll give it an array by default. We need to give another thing also. Yeah, type should be good. Anyways, let me first of all give initial values here. Then export const global provider props with children. Let me destructure it. I'll just return it. Provider. And I'll just return the children. Now I need to have the use state also. Let me give the type also, mesh object. And for the set mesh objects, let me just copy this. I'll just import it manually. These are some basic things which you can do in different ways. I'm just doing it one way. Okay, now we need to pass these values to the provider. Mesh, I'm missing the following type. What did I give it? Mesh object. Okay, yeah. Now this should be fine. Set mesh object is not a similar type. Set action. Okay, I gave something wrong here. This should be also invalid. Now hopefully, oh yeah, this view thing. Anyway, yeah. So this is global context we have. So now we can go to the app.asn wrap or main application using the context. So what I've done is like already have went ahead and basically pasted some of the markup which will need it for the object node, like the form as well as the labels, etc. But anyway, don't worry, we'll be focusing on the Reactflow. So I'll just cover that instead. But anyways, let me show you what we already have. So as you can see now we have this node and we can't drag it. One thing to note is like when you do this node drag, I just want to let you know. You can basically, if you have the node drag, then it's not allow. Reactflow is not going to allow you to drag the node. But on the other case, you can drag it. But the problem comes up is with the picker, it's not going to work. You can maybe find another solution. But since we are going to have only two nodes, I am adding this node drag so that you can't drag it. And our, what you can say, I forgot what was it. Anyways, it's going to work fine. Our range is going to work, yeah. So anyways, and the color also we can change however you want. By the way, I need to add a target also, like we had seen in a demo. So let me do one thing. Let me copy this, wrap it on fragment. We have an handle. The type is going to be source. I've covered why we need source and target in the previous video. Check it out. And handle type is going to be source. I'm forgetting something else is required here. Oh yeah, position. That is also important. And we want the positions to be uh, position dot right. Now let us see. Yeah, as you can see, we have it here. You can give a custom handle like how I've told, I have covered in the previous video. I would not do that in this video. Anyways, let me come back here. So we have this. Now we need to handle the handle submit event. So let me create a function here. Handle submit. And by the way, just to let you know, what I've done is like I have given every label, sorry, every the values as the name, so that what I can do is like I can refer those names when I submit the form using form data. So just to show you, like everything has a name. So with that, I can basically refer them instead of creating a form or instead of creating a control component or basically instead of creating a control component or using React hook form or any other libraries, I want to keep things simple. So I'm going with this approach, but you're free to do something else also. This is gonna be e form event. I think this should be it, I guess. Anyways, let me get the form from this. Let me get the form data. This is gonna be new form data. I'll pass it the form. We need to also add e.prevent default. Let me add that. And now what I'll do is like, first of all, let me get the position and let me give it a type so that it's very easy for me to get type completions. This should work. Position X is going to be form data dot get. It's going to be position X. And just to show it to you, whenever I'm doing name, I'm giving access dot to uppercase and X is X. So it's going to be uppercase is going to be capital X, which is going to be position X. That's why. Similarly, let me first give X, Y, Z, Y, Z, position Y, position Z. Then let me create as these are going to be string values. I need to convert them to integers or you can say number. Now this is going to throw error. Let me do a string, copy it. And for some reason, I'll just give a default case also. So now we have the position. So let me create a mesh object. This is going to have a color, which again I'm going to take from form. And I think the name was color for this. Similarly, ID, I'll just create a random function for now. Dot seal dot random into 1000 dot toString. Position is going to be the position. Shape, again, I'll be taking the shape from the form. And it's cribbing somewhat. It can be null. I just keep it string. I'll just add types to it. String. Now we do set. I did not create it, yeah. Let me import it, use global. Oh, first I have to create it. Yeah. So yes, hopefully this should work now. Maybe set mesh objects. So what I'll do is I'll take the set mesh objects. I'll take previous. I'll just write objects here. I'll just spread it and I'll paste the current mesh object. And this should do it. Let us see something is okay. Let me do in the canvas node. Let me copy this. Come back here. First of all, let me import use global. Then I'll call mesh objects console.log mesh objects. We come back here, refresh it. Let me add something. As you can see, something has been added. Similarly for this also. So now what we'll do is like we have to render it on the canvas node. So let me first of all give a specific height to the canvas and we'll just go from there. First of all, let me remove this. I'll give a div tag maybe. I'll be knitting a button for the full screen. We add the HTML entity for this. I'll give a class name of text right to make the button at the rightmost edge. And let me just see first about how it looks. Refresh. It's having something. Now what I have to do is like let me add the div tag class name equal to width of 96, height of 96, background I'll give it white. I'll give a rounded border to it. I'll give a border of maybe gray, some value. In between this now we'll be having the canvas, and now I remember that we have not installed canvas, so let us install that also. Sorry about that. React 3 fiber. Let me come back here to documentation of React 3 fiber. Let me copy this line and paste everything here. This is going to install React 3 fiber, etc. In the meantime, what I can do is like we can write the full screen logic. So what will happen is like mostly whenever this button is clicked, I would like this div tag to be expanded to the full screen, and whenever I click on escape it basically doesn't it reduces it basically. So to do that, let me create a user ref. This is going to have HTML div element and by default null. Let me give it null. And let me give it ref as container ref, and here I'll be having the canvas from React 3 fiber. Here I'll add an environment. Okay, I did not install React 3 yet. Let me install it. Sorry about that. It will install in the meantime. This is going to have canvas. Inside the canvas, we'll be calling a function which is going to basically render objects. So what I'll do is like I'll be basically iterating the mesh objects and I'll be basically mapping it to the respective components, and we'll be basically calling that function which is going to do the mapping, and so that we can get our arrays converted to 3D objects, and those are going to be shown in the UI. Let me show the code. If basically let me add the code, you'll understand clearly. I'll call this function and I need to add environment from Reactflow. Let me give the preset as something so that I'll have colors shown because I'll be using mesh rendered material. And let me add orbit control also to rotate the camera around. And now we'll be writing the rendered objects function. So let me first of all return a markup here. Now let me iterate over the mesh objects. So what I'll do is like I'll be checking it. Uh, if oh, I think I've done some mistake here. I should do this. If mesh object dot shape, if it's suppose plane, then I'll return plane from React3 mesh with mesh standard material color as the object's color. The I have to give a key also. So let me give the key from the mesh object itself. And the position is gonna be the mesh object dot position dot x, and let me copy it and just change the values y z, and string is not assignable to number. What did I give the value to it? Just string. Give it number itself then. I just don't want to mess with the TypeScript currently, so I'll just give whatever value it makes it happy. Mm, Canvas node ID is okay now. Now what I'll do is just copy paste it and just change whatever is required. Let me come here. It's going to be copy till here. Else if, else if, else if, else if. Let us see how many else if we have done already. But anyways, let me minimize this. Let me open the object node and let me come to the this location and just have these values itself. If it's plain, it's gonna be plain. If it's box, I'll be honest, I know that you might be thinking it could have been refactored better, but I wanted to keep things simple, so hence I've done it this way. But you can refactor it if you want. Box is gonna be from React Array, same thing. Now, if it's sphere, then this is also gonna be sphere. If it is cone, this is also gonna be cone. If it's cylinder, this is also gonna be cylinder. Let me import it. Okay, I think last also I have to copy one more. This is torus. This is also going to be torus. You can again customize more basically based on the node, which node you have selected. You can create more nodes. Like we have object node, you can create separate object nodes like for box, planes, etc. I just want to keep things simple for this video, hence I've done this way. So now you have done torus. And by the way, I've noticed now, I think the issue was previously because of the keys, I guess. These need to be keys, like how you have been doing React since long time, I guess. Anyways, I've done a silly mistake again. It's my bad. Let me copy it again. I'm not sure why I did it. Copy, paste, 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 paste. So this should be it. Let me do one thing. First of all, let me uncomment this and see if something is working fine or not. Okay, there is some other issue it seems. Couldn't create edge for target handle ID undefined. Edge ID is this. Okay, let me give an ID and see what happens. Uh, Here, why I have given ID. Now, first of all, let us see now how it looks like without render objects. We come back, refresh. It seems we have the canvas and it's giving us a lot of errors. And I think the issue might be because of the handle. We have not created a handle currently till now. So let me do that. Let me create the end here. Handle. This is going to be type as target. The position is going to be position. I'm not sure why. Yeah, position dot left. Let me save it. Come back here. Some issues with my laptop. Anyway, we can see there's no console errors now. And let me render the object. And I think I've noted something issue. I have not given a border width to it. That's why no border is being shown. As you can see now, we have the border. And I would remove the, I'll just add the no drag here also because I don't want it to be dragged. So let me give no drag here. Refresh. So now you can't drag it. You can drag it through this one. It's gonna still mess up. So let me do one thing. Let me give the no drag to the def tag here on the top. This no drag is coming from Reactflow, like I told you previously. So now you can't drag it, not from here also. So this should work fine. Now let us see if everything works fine. Color, green, add. Okay. Let us see. Cylinder. It seems there is some issue. I have rendered the objects. I'm not sure is it my laptop again. I think this fixed the issue of us not getting out the z-renders. And let me first wind up the full screen part. So whenever this button gets clicked, we'll call handle full screen. And what it's going to do is like it's first going to check the document that whether it has any full screen element or not. If it doesn't have it, then we are going to get the container element. That element will be, what is the name for this? Container ref. Not current, and I'll just give it some, sorry. And what I'll do is like I'll call element dot request full screen. Otherwise, if there is an element already, what I'll do is like I'll exit the full screen. In here, I've not handled all of the, what you can say, browser prefixes. I would suggest you check it out, but I want to keep things somewhat simpler here. So anyways, let me come back here. refresh. Now if I click on full screen, it's gonna full screen. And if I click on escape, it's gonna exit a full screen. Now we need to focus on this render objects. For some reason, it's not being anyway, I have to first add and see whether it works or not. Box, it's not being shown for some reason. And I can't understand whether. Anyway, let me do one thing. Let me first of all do live debugging here. Let me see mesh objects, whether we're getting or not. Let me now refresh it. Let me, first of all, we have uh, sphere. I added. We have the sphere added, which is a good color. ID is okay, I guess. Position is XYZ. Shape, okay. This is the mistake. We need to give proper shape, not the same shape. I have done a very big mistake. You can say this is, I think, was a big mistake, or you can say my mistake. Up to you. Anyways, we need to come here and just give shape. Save. Come back. Refresh. I think it should work fine, but let me keep the debuggers, sorry, console logs. Box. We can add the box. We can add the sphere. Let me give it little different position, little color, different color, green. Add it. This works fine. Zoom it. Sorry, give a full screen. Go out. By the way, just to let you know, okay, there's an issue which I was not able to fix while doing this project, or you can say this while making this video. Was like whenever you come here, whenever you zoom out in the canvas is gonna basically the orbit contour is gonna affect the canvas, and it depends whether it's easy or small to fix. But I was not able to fix it. Uh, so if you are able to know, if you know the solution for it, do let me know in the comments. It would help me out, and it would help other people also who are watching this video. So, anyways, this was it, I guess, for this whole video. And let me know what you are able to make after going through this video. Do tag me on LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. It motivates me to make more such videos as well. And bye.